Welcome to a MainelyDIY.com video. So today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little ornament ball. It's a lot simpler than it looks. It's really, I think it's quite elegant. So we'll get started with that. So your materials for our cute little ball is a styrofoam ball, and this one is about 1.5 inches in diameter, and I'm using a paper punch that has this cute little flower in it, just a regular piece of copy paper, and some red-headed pins. So I start out by punching a bunch of flowers. When using a punch, I like to use it from the back side just so I can see where I'm punching. I can get closer to the edge that way. That way you don't waste as much. If you've got something that you've printed on a little bit and it has just a footer on it or something, and it's like, what do you do with that page? That's a good page to do. And you certainly can do it in colors too. I've just chosen to do mine all in white. So you punch a whole bunch of flowers here, and you try not to clip the edge on one of the other ones. I did that with that one. That one's not too bad, but I don't want to use it, so you just want to avoid that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my paper and trim that off, and then start another row, and that will help me avoid being over conservative and punching where I shouldn't punch. And, so I just go along, punch them out, and then trim that off just so I've got some fresh start to work. I find that works best, and I'll keep punching. Okay, so I've got a bunch of flowers here. I've got one that's bad there. Okay, so I've got a bunch of these little flowers punched out, and I'm going to take my styrofoam ball and my red-headed pin. And if you can find ones that are a little shorter, that would be great. I didn't have much luck with that. So I am poking my pin right in the center of my flower, and then I'm going to poke it in my styrofoam ball. I am taking another flower, another pin, poking that right in the center. And you could use multicolored pins or different colored pins, different colored paper, whatever suits your fancy. So the second one, I'm going to take the first one, bend up the petals a little bit, and nestle it in fairly close, because I don't want my styrofoam really showing through my ball, and it gives it a bit of texture to do it this way. So I am just going to continue to do this. So you may find it easy to put a bunch of pins in your flowers and then pick up your ball and stick them in the ball. It's kind of a matter of preference. I like mixing it up. So now that I have a bunch of pins prepared, I am just going to poke them in. I find this is a little bit quicker. Okay, so once I have all my flowers pinned on, it's time to put on a hanger. So what we're going to do, we're going to pretend this one is done. We're going to put another one of our flowers on a pin, just like we would regularly do. Okay, so we've got a flower on a pin, and then we're going to take our coordinating ribbon. I believe this is an 1/8 inch ribbon, and we're going to poke it through fairly close to the end, because we want it kind of hidden by our flower piece. And then we want to decide how long we want our loop. Loop it around the front side of the flower, and then we're going to put our pin in there. I think that looks good, so I'm going to go ahead and clip off my ribbon fairly close to the flower, because again, I don't really want that showing beyond the flower. So I'm just going to clip that ribbon off close to the pin because I don't want it to show. Okay, so I have it the length I want. So I'm going to take some craft bond glue. This happens to be Elmer's Quick Dry Glue. I like something that's fairly thick. You can definitely use a hot glue gun if you want, whatever you want. But I'm just going to go ahead and run that pin right in my glue here. I just think it gives a little bit of added security. And I'm going to find a spot where I want to be the top of my ball, and I'm going to poke that pin right down in there, and then I'd let it set overnight before I went to hang it. And this is what you end up with. I think it's kind of pretty.